Sorry.
Marcus, at this point of the series, you guys obviously know each other pretty well. What did you see as the biggest difference tonight?
Oh man, they made shots. You know, you tip your hat off to those guys. They made some shots tonight, right? That they weren't making in games 1, 2, and 3, right? But we understood that. We knew that. We gave ourselves a chance, but we just fell short, and it's part of it. We got to put this one in the back of our mind and move on to the next one.
We asked JJ about the team turnovers, and he said obviously players are trying to make plays and see things. What's the balance there between trying to go against a tough defense and taking care of the basketball? Take care of the basketball.
You know, we've been through this. We understand this team and how they play, and they're very aggressive. And, you know, we got to take care of the basketball. Myself, I had 6 turnovers, you know, and that's unacceptable for me, especially with only 2 assists, right, especially against this team. So you definitely got to take care of the ball. We got to do a better job, all of us, and collectively, and that'll help us for sure.
Marcus, it was 93 tonight, 96 in Game 4. I think you guys had 38 points in the second half of Game 3 outside of overtime. Does it feel like you guys are making any sort of progress to just, I guess, diagnosing what the offensive issues have been the last 2.5 games?
Yeah, I mean, we know what it is. We just got to make shots. You know, we got guys doing things, and we're not giving ourselves a chance by turning the ball over, which, you know, we can't get a shot up on the basketball on the rim because of that. And that hurts anybody, no matter how good you are offensively. If you can't get a shot up on the rim, that's always going to hurt. But yeah, we know what it takes. We got good plays. The game plan is right. The coaching staffs do a good job of putting us into positions. We got to go out there and capitalize on the plays that we are and make the best of them.
Marcus, I think we asked you something similar after the last game, but like it takes a lot to close series. What is your message? What is, you know, you yourself, LeBron, DA has been in these moments. What does it take to end a series, especially when you know their backs are against the wall in every way, no matter every minute of the game, no matter what's happening? Yeah, exactly that. We got to play like our backs against the wall, right? We knew this was going to be a tough series. I think everybody knew that. And it's turning out to be exactly what we expected. And now the fun begins.
Marcus, you know what it's like to be on the other side of a 3-0 lead and fight all the way back. Just when you think back on that experience, what do you remember from it, and what do you guys need to kind of channel to have that same kind of desperation now to close this series out?
Exactly what you said, desperation. We got to play desperate. Every possession matters for us. And we really got to literally go out there and be ready to die. That was it. That was when I was on the other end. That was our motto. Be willing to run through a wall and, you know, sacrifice your body for the betterment of the team. And that's what we're going to do now. We have to be the desperate team. We know they're going to come in their place and be very desperate, very confident. And we got to be able to be able to respond in a good way with that.
Hey, Marcus, back here. I don't know if you remember, but back in February, I asked you about Luke Kennard. And the last 2 games aside, he's been a big part of what the Lakers have done against the Rockets. Knowing that, you know, he's flourishing when the lights are brightest, how does that make you feel, knowing that you've played with him, you've seen him, you know, behind the scenes, just bring that extra punch for the Lakers, especially, you know, with the series 3-2?
I love to see all my guys succeed, right? You know, because I'm in the gym with him every day. I know how hard he works. I know the time he puts in. So, you know, I'm excited for, you know, the way he's been playing. And we need him. He knows that, he understands that, and he's been excelling. And like I said, being on the team with him in Memphis, being on the team with him here, seeing his work ethic, I'm proud of him. So he's definitely been a big integral part for us, and he's going to be going forward. So we're looking for him to step up even more for us, you know, next game. But we like what he's been doing.
All right, as we take a look at our playoff bracket, now focusing in on the West, having just watched that Lakers-Rockets game, with the Rockets closing in on this series. Lakers still lead by 1, could have closed it out at home today, but of course fell short to this Houston team that's rallying even without Kevin Durant the last 2 games. Let's pick up where we left off. LeBron James, how did he look to you in Game 5, Chris? We just heard Austin Reaves talking about him really taking over in the 4th.
Yeah, he picks his spots. He's not the LeBron that's going to take over from start to finish. He started off slow. I believe he had 8 points in the first half, and it really took off in that second half. But I think what he's doing, he's trying to lean on guys. You know, DeAndre Ayton had a really, I want to give him props and credit, because I know a lot of times people can be harsh with him, but he really showed up tonight and did all the things that needed to be done from a big man. Please, 17 points, I believe 18 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. And so props and credit to him. But LeBron James, you need, if his shot is not going, he was 0 for 6 from three-point range. His shot is not going, you need other guys to step up and take on that slack, and nobody really did tonight. So, you know, tough night for everyone around.
You mentioned Reed Shepherd as well as we were finishing up the game there. What stood out from his play down the stretch there for the Rockets?
He just made some big plays on both ends of the floor. I think the big sequence for me was when he took the ball from the top of the key. He hit a mid-range step-back jumper over DeAndre Ayton. And the very next play down the floor, he came from the help side, stripped LeBron James, and took it back the other way for a dunk. And obviously, this Rockets team with KD out, Alpe's going to need all the help he can get, and guys are realizing that. You know, he's in making big plays, but Reed Shepherd down the stretch was big time. He was clutching the moments they needed him to be clutching.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Now, Luke Kennard was huge for the Lakers early in the series, but he scored just 1 point in Game 5. Chris, how can the Lakers really get him going again?
You know, just really finding him. He's one of the best catch and shoot players they have in this league. But again, he's not a guy that you can rely on for that productivity. You know, so that's one game. And if you get that, you know, you accept it. But you can't expect that for the next game. You need other guys. You need what it takes is, in the playoffs, you need your star players to be stars. And if the star players are being stars, that doesn't mean that they're just being stars for themselves. They also got to elevate other guys as well. That means you got to find guys, you know, find guys in the corner. That means you got to find guys cutting. You got to play to their strengths. I think they did a great job with DeAndre Ayton, penetrating, finding him for lobs. I think DeAndre Ayton did a really great job of staying around for those offensive rebounds instead of retreating to get back on defense. So it's going to take a group effort. Sometimes it may be Luke Kennard's night. It might be Vanderbilt's night. The next night, it might be Marcus Smart. But somebody has to pick up the slack, because you know LeBron James is going to be able to set guys up, and you know every now and then he may be able to go off offensively, but it's going to take a group effort.
That's why it's great that they're getting Austin Reaves back, even if it's kind of a slightly diminished Austin Reaves because of minutes and you know, coming back from injury and everything. Yeah. You're still going to have another player the defense has to worry about while LeBron's on the floor, and that's what's going to open up more shots for a guy like Luke Kennard.
Certainly, certainly.
All right, meantime, Marcus Smart just sat down at the podium. Let's listen in.